Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of MacCraft. It's me, MacGyver. I am playing Protoss in the blue versus Thorax playing Zerg in the red. Now this is just another daily match, just a average ladder. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up a little bit because once again I cannot stand just sitting here watching people build harvesters. That and since Thorax up here isn't doing anything crazy like 7 pooling or even 6 pooling me, it's not real interesting. He does try to pull a double extractor trick here, I believe. Get a few more harvesters out. Look at the units tab. He is ahead of me by 2. 1 now. Pretty standard game so far. Just send in my scouting probe. See that his spawning pool is just going up, so it is a standard run. Got my gateway going up. Since things are starting to be built, I'm going to slow back down to standard speed. Got an overlord watching the ramp up into his base, and I am walling off. Not very much interesting here to talk about. So I want to thank everyone who watched episode 1. Hope you enjoy episode 2. I know the quality is not quite up to where it should be yet. I have ordered several new computer components, and hopefully that's going to allow me to put it all in as good a resolution as it can get, and it will eliminate my frame rates lag. So just bear with me on that. I am attempting to fix it. Going for my second extractor here. Assimilator. Assimilators. Still, he has 1 extractor. Sometimes I get tongue-tied and I don't even know what I'm saying myself. Look over here at the units. First 6 Zerglings are out, as along with my first Zealot. My base is pretty safe. Got a second pylon going down. It appears that Thorax up here is going to go ahead and move into his expansion, because he's Zerg, and frankly, that's what Zerg do. They expand, they branch out, they take over the world one dying corpse at a time. Warping in a couple more gateways. I think I'm going to transition into 4-gate in this game. Researching that. Not chrono boosting it. Not really sure why I'm not chrono boosting it. Yeah, this second base is almost up. And he does have metabolic boost on the way. There's the 4th gateway. Take a look over the income tab. I'm actually 1 harvester ahead, which not that big of a difference really. I am sitting on 2 gases, which means I have a lot more probes dedicated to that than he has harvesters. So he's able to bring in a few more minerals per minute than I am. Again, not going to make that big of a difference. It's not that big of a lead. There was a chrono boost just fading off of my cybernetics core. I'm paying a little bit more attention to that now. Now I use a probe to try to drop a proxy over here. Sadly, from this position, I cannot see his overlord that is sit here, and he's going to move in Zerglings and immediately destroy this pylon. If I would have caught it a little bit sooner, I could have cancelled it. Loss of 100 minerals, though. I'm going to leave this probe sitting here on the Zelnaga watchtower because I can see pretty much anything he sends out of his base from here. Here comes Warp Tech, just came up, converting into warp gates. I've got decent saturation. I could probably use 1 more probe on each of these minerals. 2 more on that one. To start moving my forces out here because I know that if I want to keep up with the Zerg, I'm going to have to expand. If we look at the unit count now, there's 26 Zerglings and 2 Queens. I have 3 Zealots and 2 Stalkers. Not much to defend with right now on my count. just brings his first overseer up. Apparently he might have been worried about a Dark Templar rush. I've never actually built very many Dark Templars. I've used it kind of as a last resort kind of method, where I have to do damage to the enemy's mineral line, so I need to build something that they can't see move in. I've known it works very successful for a lot of my friends. I don't know, because I love harassing with ghosts and everything. Now, we have a changeling here. Sadly, I saw him coming from the Xel'Nagas. He's going to move in and realize that I'm on the Xel'Naga watchtowers now. He's going to be able to take the one that I have a probe sitting on. He's going to lose the one that I had the Zealot on. I actually saw this combat here, so I know he just sent one Zergling to each, so I'm going to send a Zealot back out. Try to regain my map control here. Lately I've been stressing a lot on map control, simply because I've found that if you know when your opponent's coming and what they're bringing, it's a whole lot easier to counter it. Going to drop a pylon in my natural as I start to expand. I do have a fairly significant harvester deficit now. Look at the income rate. I'm down by 7 harvesters. Oh, we got a nice little group of Zerglings here. A Spore Crawler coming up. Another Changeling coming out. Not entirely sure why he's sending out another Changeling. It's I think it lives just long enough to see that my force is moving in. I do go ahead and drop a proxy here where I know he can't see it because the Xel'Naga is going to show me plenty. Does drop a Spore Crawler there. He's starting to bring up Mutalisks, which could be a little troublesome. They like to swing those around and harass the mineral line. Now, I don't want to push him premature here. I'm going to let my pylon come up, bring in a little bit of reinforcements. Waiting for the cooldown on my warp gates. And wow, this expansion is doing nothing currently. I have queued up a bunch of probes there and have not built any probes there. Oh, here's my push. Moving on to the creep. He did a very good job expanding creep in this level. He had it all the way out to the center. Without any reinforcements, that Spore Crawler is going to drop. That's what I was waiting on. I was waiting on Blink to come up so that I can do this. Save the Stalker. And again. This is one of those things you pick up from watching the pro games, because every time you watch someone play that is better than you, you can learn things that they do that you either hadn't thought of or were never able to attempt. And you may get the little tricks on how to do it. Blinking stalkers out of enemy fire, very effective way to keep your forces alive. A lot of Zerglings do come out here. I think he manages to take this stalker and maybe another one. My attention must have been somewhere else for this. I did blink this one out to safety. And that one. And that one. As you see, the Zerglings naturally, unless you have someone who's good at micro, will naturally target the closest one as soon as you blink one out. Therefore, that one gets sent to the back of the line, and you get plenty of time to let its shields recharge. That expansion is all but gone now. Wait for a few more reinforcements to come up from the back, and go ahead and push in. It is trying to pop up 3 Spore Crawlers here. Decide that's more dangerous than these Zerglings, as I am blinking out units again. Moving in to take out this, and at this point in time, this game's over. This queen is not going to survive. One spore crawler and a few zerglings really isn't going to make a difference. He has 2 zerglings to my 19 stalkers. I'm going to drop down his spire so he can't build any mutalisks. There is really nothing he can do about this. In this game, my blink stalker play allowed my smaller group of stalkers to take on a much larger group of zerg and come out victorious because he could not kill off any one because it would simply retreat to the back of the line. Shows you how a little bit of micro can save you a whole lot of macro. There's the end of the match. And I did want to try something new. I don't know of anyone else that does this. I figure there are plenty of professional games being cast out there. So here's what I want from you, my viewers. I want you to find some interesting game that you've played. Maybe you rushed and it worked perfectly, or maybe you developed a new strategy and either it caused you to win the game or maybe it caused you to lose magnificently. And you want to pull a don't try this at home style game. But either way, my email address is going to be in the thread underneath this video. It's going to be MacCraft@live.com. Please send me your replay data along with what league you're in and a short description on why you think your game is cool. And who knows, maybe episode 3, 4, or 5, somewhere around those lines, might be one of your games. Until next time, this is MacGyver with MacCraft, and I am signing off.